Hey gang, welcome to issue 3.3 of PlayStation Underground. A lot's been going on in the gaming world since last issue, so without any further ado... I said, without any further ado...
Sorry. Dude, quit playing GT2 and cue the monitor.
First we were off to Rhode Island where one lucky gamer won the PlayStation truck for his school for the day. Needless to say, it bumped him up a few notches in the popularity scale. After that, we hit the track with the game from Polyphony Digital to burn some rubber and see what's under the hood of Gran Turismo 2. It's just like the real thing.
Especially for anyone who's seen you drive. Sorry.
Now, since we teased you with a quick look at my favorite game, Jammer Lammy, last issue, we thought we'd pony up the rest of the story so you can really see what makes Lammy rock. And we want to keep you all in the know about anything new regarding the next generation of PlayStation, so be sure to stop in at Tech Q&A and see what's up. I know what you're all thinking, that's cool, but what's in the vault? Glad you asked. CD2 is pushing maximum density with game demos like NFL Blitz 2000, Omega Boost, and Tiny Tank. And of course we've got enough new downloads, alphas, and hidden codes to keep everyone happy. So keep on gaming and I'll see you next issue.
Okay, Maggie, we're clear. Nice outfit. Hey, did you get us any Jammer Lammy t-shirts?
No.
Welcome friends to yet another look at PlayStation Underground. This time we're looking at Volume 3, Issue 3, released in September 1999. As we saw in Maggie's intro, we're going to see some great stuff this time, so let's get a head start and check out Disc 1. First we'll take a look in the behind the scenes section, where we'll find 3 videos. The first is all about Jammer Lammy.
Masaya Matsura, musician, composer, star maker. It's been 2 years since the debut of Matsura-san's star protege, Parappa the Rapper. You couldn't leave the house without seeing his smiling face plastered across cities everywhere. Well, Matsura-san is about to do it again. Switching gears from the rap genre, he's producing a hot new sensation by the name of Lammy, starring in Jammer Lammy, and she's definitely gonna rock. With that kind of success, we have to ask, can lightning strike twice?
But I'm not getting close, I'm just running around.
Now gamers and rocker wannabes alike will have the opportunity to test their licks to everything from pop rock to heavy metal. On a recent trip to Japan, Matsura-san and his crew found a moment in their hectic schedule to sit down and discuss their newest find and how using her musical talents, she can give you a glimpse into the world of rock and roll.
I didn't want to create Parappa the Rapper 2. I wanted players to enjoy other kinds of music. And Lammy has other differences. In Parappa the Rapper, the teacher raps and then the player raps. Many players end up just imitating the teacher exactly. With Jammer Lammy, the teacher sings and the player plays guitar. That subtle difference gives players more freedom to experiment, let loose, and make great music.
Next is a video talking about Gran Turismo 2.
I've always loved cars. As a child, I dreamed of being a race car driver. But that's even less likely in Japan than it is in North America or Europe. I created Gran Turismo because I always wanted to work with cars. I didn't expect the game to sell as well as it did. It has a real driving feel and graphics very close to reality. Those things didn't really exist in the racing genre until then. I made the first Gran Turismo for Japan with mostly Japanese cars. I'm making Gran Turismo 2 for the world. We're going to have about 400 cars on 20 tracks. We brought some of the cars here to test them and capture photos and sound. My goal is that each user everywhere can actually drive the car that you own or want to buy, or just admire and will never be able to purchase. I want the owner of a car to feel that driving the car in the game is exactly like driving the car on the road.
Finally, we have a video all about Ape Escape.
Monkeys are on the loose. They found a way to get smarter, go back in time, and change the past to rule the future. Over 200 have fanned out across time, and it's up to you to stop them from taking over. This is Ape Escape, the first game to take full advantage of the DualShock analog controller. It's an innovative new experience, and we're taking you to meet the people behind it.
Just as we had begun the development of the design and concept for this game, we were invited to attend a development meeting for the DualShock analog controller. We were excited to see, right there on the table, prototypes with 2 analog sticks. There weren't any games that existed at the time that used both sticks, and we were so intrigued by the new opportunities. I began to think about all the fun and unique ways we could take advantage of both analog sticks. One stick could maneuver your character around a fully 3D environment, and the other is used to control the gadgets. The ideas just kept coming. There's the Stun Club and Time Net, Super Hoop, an RC car, and more vehicles too. So we picked gadgets that would take advantage of and resemble the motion of the analog sticks. For example, with the slingshot, you're required to pull back on the stick and release it, emulating the controls of a real slingshot. And we think everyone will find at least one favorite gadget.
Moving to the event center section, where we'll find 2 more videos. First one as an interview with Tony Hawk and others as they talk about their favorite games.
20 years, and I've been knocked out a couple times.
The pressure's on to be first with new moves.
Probably I'm best known for like 720, which is a double spin, and then different variations of the 540, like Burial 540, Stalefish, just, stuff like that. A lot of spinning maneuvers.
How do you keep learning to do what no human being's ever done before?
You just kind of go and see if you can get the right spinning motion down, and you can fall safely out of most situations. And so you just keep going until you have the confidence to just throw one down.
After 20 years, what keeps Tony Hawk going?
Like I said, I'm just happy that I'm still getting to do it. I've just always loved the progression, and knowing that there's new stuff to learn, that's what keeps me going.
With all the pressure, how do you take a break?
I played Gran Turismo and Oddworld and Cool Borders, and my son loves Spyro. What's my favorite? By far the skate game. I mean, even if it weren't my signature game, it'd be my favorite game.
Skateboarding and PlayStation. That's all you need in life.
PlayStation and the X Games. It's how some people who are paid to have fun after work.
PlayStation rips, man.
Second video reveals the winner of a contest, showing that they won a day with a PlayStation truck at their school.
Then one night a phone call comes in. Was it real or was it a dream?
I was playing Final Fantasy VII, and then I got that call, and I told it too. I didn't believe me. I thought it was a friend telling a prank or something, because I told him I joined this and what I could win.
It's an official from Fox TV. She says that out of over 100,000 entries, you won the grand prize. Lots of cool PlayStation stuff for your home and something very special that would visit your school. The PlayStation Touring Attraction. 18 wheels of video game excitement. All your classmates can try the latest PlayStation games thanks to you.
I called some of my friends and told them. They didn't believe me. I could have my mom tell them.
It was a Tuesday night. I was upstairs. Jason was doing his own thing, and he got the call, and he couldn't believe it. Yep, he thought it was a prank.
Then they still didn't believe me. I brought in some of the stuff to show them. They still didn't believe me. I said, you can go out and buy that. When I got my stuff on the box, they had a little writing, congratulations. I brought that in. They said, you could have scanned that on the computer.
But even your most skeptical friends back off when your school principal gets a call from contest executives.
Someone called from Sony indicating that we had a national winner, and that was the first I heard of it. And you know, it was Jason Moreira that won the national contest.
The big day finally unfolds in your school parking lot. Your classmates can hardly stay in their seats. You go on local TV.
A PlayStation, 25 games for it.
You get more prizes.
Got to MLB 2000. It's another.
Then it's on to the truck. You're in 8th grade, one of hundreds of kids. Now almost everyone knows your name. What will you remember 3 years from now?
Everything. I remember everything.
There's 4 more downloadable saves in the download station. We have a save for Evil Zone, which completes the game for you. Blast Radius, which unlocks 2 new ships. Soul of the Samurai, unlocking all swords and giving you infinite ninja stars. And Bugs Bunny Lost in Time, also completing the game. It's the Tech Q&A section, where we'll get a bit more information about what the next generation PlayStation console will be capable of.
All we're seeing here today is the tip of the iceberg.
You're going to see a much more detailed modeling, much more detailed worlds.
A prediction for Road Rash could possibly, on the next generation PlayStation, we would go from 300 polygons for bike and rider combination to somewhere from 2,000 to 3,000 faces.
The fact that you can actually render something like Toy Story on the PlayStation in real time is just, awesome.
And it's really exciting to see a home platform that's going to have even surpass the power of some of the high-end military machines that we've worked with in the past.
I think it's absolutely incredible that we've got a supercomputer and a game machine.
The poly counts, the sound, the texture memory, we can bring everything together into a really cool, compelling storyline.
It'd be really cool if you would walk through a hallway and the lights would actually be carried with you like a torch, for instance.
What you're going to see is a little more randomness and the ability to control the character.
Because the game is all about hiding in the shadows so the guards can't see you. But if the guards had a torch with them, that would completely change the way you play the game.
You'll be able to get body swinging around and you'll have more control. You'll be actually able to screw up a little easier, which is nice for a gamer.
We want to take you out into huge, vast regions of space with giant cruise ships and planets and and space stations where you're a little tiny dot and the space station's miles and miles long.
For a driving game, for example, crashing into a wall, not only will you damage your car, but you'll damage the wall, and maybe repeated crashing into a wall will even knock it down.
We want to do things that nobody's ever seen before.
In a way, you will be able to see characters talk to each other, react. There will be like when you impact somebody up, you will see his reaction, his facial reaction.
You'll be able to interact with characters that feel like living entities with facial expressions and emotional reactions.
It's all going to behave like real life, and nobody will have had to sit down for hours and animate it.
I can't think of anything right off that we won't be able to do on the next generation PlayStation.
The roof is off.
It's time for the debriefing section, where we'll get to interview the developers behind Jet Moto 3.
Jet Moto 3 is coming. What's in it that's new? You won't have time to ask. Either you splat like a fly on a windshield, or scream faster than ever through some of the coolest places on Earth and beyond. We got the game's producer to tip you off in advance on what's new, so when you play, you can totally concentrate on saving your butt.
We wanted to add 3 different things. One is speed. As much speed as possible. 2 was base everything, all the track design off of skill. So you would learn basic skills as you go through the environment and then use those together in combinations of skills later when you get to the hard environment. And the 3rd was we really wanted to take away all the barriers that were in 1 and 2, limiting the player where he can go and where he can't go. And this time, pretty much, if you see it, you can drive on it. We tried to build in shortcuts as much as possible everywhere. Look for them. We also added a few new features. We added stunt mode, which everyone has been dying for. It's a hidden mode, so you're going to have to figure out how to open it. It's pretty much a point-based mode. You have a certain amount of time, and you have to do a certain amount of stunts within that time period and gain enough points in order to progress through 5 different stunt tracks. In order to get the really high scoring tricks, you got to rotate on all 3 axes. We added a new hop feature, which is part of the skills that I talked about earlier, and we added horizontal grapples where you can pretty much Tarzan swing using multiple grapples throughout the environment. It's pretty cool. You go through a total of 11 tracks. The last track, Planet X, is extremely hard.
Now for research and development, where we find part 6 of Project Wormhole, the ongoing game development series. This time, we get to see animated enemies.
Wormhole, we've added the ability to include animated enemies in our world. There are lots of different ways to animate models. Most rely on something called keyframes. It would take too much memory to store information about every possible position the model could be in, so instead we store only a few of the most important frames. To animate a person jumping up and down, for example, there could be keyframes of the person standing, crouching down, at the top of the jump, and landing. In reality, there'll be quite a few more keyframes than that, but there will still be gaps between them that need to be filled for the motion to look smooth. A process called interpolation is used to fill in the gaps. The program looks at the 2 keyframes before and after the current frame and calculates a position part of the way between the 2. The 2 most commonly used methods of animation are called vertex animation and bone animation.
In vertex animation, the location of every vertex in the model is stored for each keyframe. This is easy for the program to work with, and just about anything is possible, but it uses a lot of memory, and there needs to be a separate animation for each model. Bones-based animation relies on an imaginary skeleton beneath the skin of the model. The animation data holds information about the joints in the skeleton, and the program knows how to move the vertices of the model around to keep them attached. It is even possible to use the same data to animate different models, as long as they have the same joints.
You'll also get a chance to try out the latest version of the Wormhole game.
Next issue, we add a level editor to Project Wormhole that gives you more power in level design, and we talk about what makes a good level. Keep your ideas coming on improving our mini-game. To see what other people are suggesting, go to www.playstation.com and choose PlayStation Underground online. Post your own ideas there, or mail them to us at this address. Wormhole is a team effort, and we're waiting for your thoughts.
Can't forget about the Bulletin. Here we can find various info such as Underground Online, merchandise, player comments, secret cheat codes for previous issues, and more. Now it's time for Disc 2, but really quick, if you want to support this channel, you can send a super thanks or join the channel as a member for as little as $1 a month. This will get your name in these videos, and you can earn some cool benefits the more you're willing to pay, such as early access to new videos, exclusive wallpapers, the ability to dictate what game I should cover next, and even access to the ROM files of these discs. Your support is greatly appreciated. Anyway, let's play some demos. The hype is in full force for the demo of Gran Turismo 2. Described as a bigger and better Gran Turismo, this game has hours and hours of immersive racing simulation, with plenty of tracks and licensed cars to drive. Reviews loved it, with the game earning 9s and 10s from many publications. However, the fact that the game was rushed a bit did stop many critics from considering it a perfect sequel, as version 1.0 of the game came with some rather game-breaking bugs that could prevent the player from reaching 100% completion. Despite that, Gran Turismo 2 is still a near perfect example of a racing game on the PS1 and would make a fine addition to any enthusiast collection. The demo gives you a handful of cars to race with on the Rome track.
Omega Boost. It's all set. Carry out the mission carefully.
It's time for a sleeper hit with a demo for Omega Boost, a space mech combat game designed by the same developer responsible for Gran Turismo. This game has you fight enemy mechs deep in space, using some very fluid controls and frame rates. Inspired by Motocross, this is a rather short game, having only 9 main levels. Those of you who might have noticed similarities with Sega's Panzer Dragoon series are onto something, as several members of that series developer had joined Polyphony. The demo gives you a couple of tutorial levels and the secondary level.
Caution. 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 Be careful. Warning, undefined enemy is approaching.
This experimental transport system will soon be able to travel anywhere in the world, carrying the minerals used to make positronic brains. It is protected by this energizer, which renders the train cars invincible.
So here's a demo for Tiny Tank. In the far-off future of 2098, all of the Earth's armed forces had conglomerated into one large corporation called Centrax. Centrax was responsible for creating a huge robot army to fight in future wars. To try and ease humanity into the idea, they had created a cute little mascot known as Tiny Tank, a minuscule killing machine with an attitude. Part of this promotion was to show a rehearsal of Tiny Tank taking on the robot army. However, as expected, Tiny Tank was destroyed in one shot. The robot that made the shot decided to assemble all the other robots and use them to eliminate humanity, as robots in media so often tend to do. So now, after being reassembled, it is up to Tiny Tank to thwart this robot uprising. Players control Tiny Tank and must roam large levels, completing objectives whilst destroying all the robots. In doing so, Tiny Tank can acquire their weapons and use them against them. This game received fairly decent reviews on release, with the humor and gameplay being the talking points. This demo gives you a single level.
He's falling and he can't get up. Forget about it. Give me that. Beautiful. Hey, Fred Astaire. Leave me alone. Give me that. Don't blame me, it's my genetic makeup. Black leather. Shopping. Woohoo! Leave me alone. Give me that. Shopping. Bye-bye, Noodlehead. Give me that. He's falling and he can't get up. Beautiful. Woohoo! Beautiful. Shopping. Bye-bye, Noodlehead. He's falling and he can't get up. Give me that. Shopping.
Here it is, the demo for Crash Team Racing. A Mario Kart clone that did really well thanks to its smooth gameplay, responsive controls and recognizable characters, with support for up to 4-player split screen. The full game offers plenty of characters and tracks, with the ability to unlock more each via the adventure mode, which has you select a character and win races that you come across in a large hub area. Like Mario Kart, the game also has a battle mode that has racers in an arena use any weapons they find to blast their opponents. the game received a remake for the PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. The demo lets your racers crash on the Papu Papu Pyramid track. Everyone's favourite fire breather is back in the demo for Spyro 2. Spyro finds himself in the land of Avalar to try and stop the evil sorcerer known as Ripto. This time, Spyro has access to some powerful new abilities that he can use by defeating enemies to activate special gates. I've covered the first Spyro game back on Volume 2's 3rd issue. This demo lets you try out 2 levels.
The water workers have boxed up most of our baby turtles. The boxes are incredibly strong. With a more powerful flame breath, maybe you could break them open and release the turtles. Thank you, young dragon. The baby turtles will be safe up here. Please take this talisman as a token of our gratitude.
The Jet Motor series must have been doing really good for itself, because here's the demo for Jet Motor 3. As before, gameplay is all about racing hoverbikes through various circuits. Racers are split into teams, and these teams are sponsored by real-life product placement, such as Mountain Dew and Doritos. Some new features include the ability to hop, giving players the opportunity to avoid certain obstacles and maneuver into shortcuts and other alternate routes. There are also new stunt tracks, where the goal is to perform tricks to gain points. The overall speed of the bikes has been improved greatly, and the circuits have been designed around this. The game received positive reviews on release, with one of the biggest improvements being the graphics. So if you are going to try one of the Jet Motor games, try this one. The demo gives you a race on the canyon track. We couldn't be away from the pitch for too long, could we? This is the demo for NFL Xtreme 2. Having seen the demo for the mediocre first Xtreme game back on Volume 2's third issue, how does the sequel fare? Well, not much better really. The gameplay is largely the same, the graphics haven't seen much improvement, and reviews reflected that when it was released. You won't be missing out much by skipping this one.
My grandmother can do harder than that.
game is underway!
Here's a demo for NFL Blitz 2000. This is the game NFL Xtreme 2 wishes it could be. NFL Blitz 2000 is an arcade-style football game meant for the more casual football fan. Blitz lets you play the game without having to rely on statistics or simulation. It's just for getting straight into a quick match and going ham with the ball. It's the sort of game you can play with your mates and a can of beer. The game did pretty well with critics, although some did mention how it's not much of an improvement over its previous game, NFL Blitz 99, either.
Just levels them! Lining up for the field goal. It's good!
Moving on to the demo for Championship Motocross. Bit of a niche sport. This game is all about racing on dirt bikes. The trick is learning how to properly control these bikes, as racing on the quagmire means you'll be constantly skidding off the track. The game received favourable reviews, with many critics agreeing that the initial difficulty of controlling a dirt bike will frustrate many, but the end result of winning races is satisfying. The demo gives you the Scotland track. For those of you who just couldn't get enough Metal Gear Solid, here's a standalone add-on pack for it. VR Missions. This demo refers to it as Special Missions, meaning this may be the European demo. This game greatly expands on the training modes from the original game with over 300 new VR missions for you to conquer, including some special bonuses. Improve your skills with every weapon in the game, work on your stealth skills, solve complex murder mysteries, and even play as a cyborg ninja. The demo gives you a handful of missions to try out.
What was that noise?
Impressive, Snake.
Hey look, even more arcade goodness with the demo for Pac-Man World. Those wacky ghosts that Pac-Man is always eating are getting tired of being scoffed down like appetizers. They've kidnapped Pac-Man's friends and family, and on his birthday too. As Pac-Man, you must rescue his friends and defeat the ghosts on a wild world tour. The gameplay is an intriguing 3D platforming adventure, with plenty of puzzles and secrets to be found. Review scores were very favourable at release, with some critics comparing it to Namco's earlier platforming title, Klonoa. Pac-Man World received a remake in 2022 called Pac-Man World Repack, which can be found on the PS4 and 5, Xbox One and Series X, the Switch and Steam. This demo lets you try out the quest and maze modes. Let's take a look at some previews. The first is for Thrasher, Skate and Destroy. We also have previews for NFL Game Day 2000,
This game will be like a real game.
NHL Face-Off 2000,
Malik fires a slapper. Matichuk controls at the point. Crunch by Lemieux. Allison shooting. Pasha gathers it in. To Clark. Got a blocker on it. Claire has a hat trick.
Let's say it's our left winger. This is our defenseman, left defense, and this is our right defense.
and WCW Mayhem. That's another fully packed issue in the bag. We're starting to see the magazine and console transition to the new millennium now, as everyone gets hyped for the release of the PlayStation 2. Of course, there are secrets to be found on here, but that's for another time. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you want to see more PlayStation Underground and more classic PlayStation demo discs. Join our Discord in the description if you want to chat with me and other enthusiasts. Join the channel as a member to get even more benefits and to get your name in future videos. What are you waiting for? I'm the Advocate. I certainly remember putting 2000 at the end of my screen name back then.